and Angry Man was saying it too. More and more and more, this whole thing is looking like a plan. I have no doubt in my mind that Kendrick knew. I'm sorry, that Drake knew what he was getting into. Drake been going through this negotiation with UMG. He knew how y'all was going to act with Kendrick. I think Drake know how y'all was going to handle Kendrick. Y'all would think that Drake was thinking that, yeah, so I'm going to get into it with Kendrick and everyone's going to be on my side. He knew y'all wasn't going to be on the side, or a lot of people were going to try to support Kendrick just for the sake of his demise, right? He already knew. So we starting to understand more and more why he keeps mentioning Taylor Swift. So kind of find out the guy who produces for Taylor Swift actually produced a lot of this GNX album right here. And that's why it sounds how it sounds. Let me see if I can find y'all that bookmark real quick. Hold on, y'all. Oh my gosh, I cannot find it. It might be my Twitter. Let me see if it's my Twitter bookmarks. Hold on, y'all. Well, guess not. Anyway, so I want to play these two videos. This one is from a podcast called Lost in Vegas, and I may play the other one. Then we're gonna get into.
For one reason, and it feels like the world is against Drake right now. I'm like, God dang! I tell George this probably once. Every time we talk, at least once when we get together to do videos or we're just talking, I'm like, Drake must have did something so egregious that the fucking even his peers don't like him. That's crazy. Like, even if the motherfuckers that are in your profession don't like you, I mean, either that has to be some crazy hate, or it's just he had to have done something that they just want to get this motherfucker out of here. Because when he says Drake elimination, that's what it feels like to me. It feels like not only are we trying to put you in your place, we're trying to get you to fuck out the game. Like, we want you to fucking be on suicide watch. That's what.
So Drake has become so good at his craft and so good at making music that they're trying to blackball someone who cannot be blackballed. So they already know they couldn't blackball Drake. But what they could do is try to make Drake seem as though try to ruin his image. Right? But what they wasn't counting on, see, in their mind, let me tell you how they label CU, how they see black men. What they think is black people don't know how to use the legal system, or don't know that the legal system is at your disposal. And if someone breaks the law in the way that affects you, especially your money, right? So someone breaks the law in a way that especially affects your money. So that song actually was very damaging to his reputation, because you got to realize, if people are making videos and think pieces and constantly trying to repeat the idea of you being a PDF file, first of all, one of the reasons why that's problematic is the fact that an actual PDF file is someone who actually is trying to penetrate or has secret meetings or liaisons or private liaisons with underage children. Okay, or underage people, or people who are minors, right? What people keep referring to is Millie Jean Bobby Brown. I'm sorry, I can't say that. I think it's the girl from Stranger Things, saying that, that basically she's friends with Drake and Drake texts her. You know what I'm saying? And they keep referring to a time where he mistakenly bought a girl on stage he thought was, 18 and she was 17. You know what I mean? And I think it was so awkward. And it's like, you know what I mean? And I think he tried to play it off and give the girl a kiss on the cheek. You know what I'm saying? And just to kind of smooth things over and what, you know what I mean? And people use that as some kind of proof that he's into kids. I'm like, fam, Drake has knocked down all of your favorites. I'm not saying it's not impossible for him to be a freak bull, but I'm just saying we're gonna call it what it is, man. And again, it's just winter talk. Get you some glory, man. I gotta tell you something. If you've experienced glory in life and you know who you are, right? Because I really fuck a lot of like light-skinned people who try to like side with Kendrick. You know what? I never thought about this shit until Angry Man pointed out how light-skinned people will go out their way to try to take opportunities to seem to have very black takes or very niggerish takes. You know what I mean? Because the biggest reason why people wanted Kendrick to win the battle was because it was the underdog effect. I'm sorry, the underdog effect, because again, we love seeing people get things they don't deserve. We love seeing niggas bring the hood to spaces that the hood don't belong in. That's why we like the whole pro-black and the whole, like back when Beyonce was, she did the whole Black Panther aesthetic with the cops and all this bullshit. And that was back when I was trendy, because again, black people buy into that bullshit. We don't really actually understand. This is before we started having conversations on relationships, because that was at the point where more black people bought into the idea that the powers that be are limiting you and working against you and so on and so forth. And with these conversations, we started talking more about, no, it's not really that. That's not what's going on. It's it's the family. And then when we start breaking the problem down more and more, we start realizing, oh no, it's the fact that the women don't care about the family. Judging by how the women move in everyday life. You dig? So that's what was going on at that point. And Kendrick is super duper out of touch. And around that time, that's when Kendrick started kind of becoming more of like this, like not deity, but this whole getting into this Black Panther aesthetic, to the point where like him and TDE, they worked on the sound. Well, they did the soundtrack for Black Panther, which was a good project. But that was the peak of Kendrick's abilities, right? And I think like the best music that he can make. I feel like Damn is like one of his best project, because it's, again, like Angry Man was saying, it had mass appeal. You know what I mean? Meaning that it had records that a lot of people can like listen to and enjoy. And the production, like the album moves forward. The album feels good. The album feels like something, versus the other projects, like it's like confusing. It's confusing. You know what I mean? If anything, all the best parts, the best moments that you see him having are all based off of flows and cadences that he was doing back on Damn. He's not really doing anything new. You know what I mean? But again, a big part of Kendrick's success is your belief in who he is, because you want to believe that, because really people are lazy. People don't want to actually have to do any work. And another piece of work or a form of work that people don't want to do is learning how to actually discern who's a good guy and who is a bad guy. You know what I mean? Because what that also may mean is that you may have to change. Listen, it takes effort to change your mind. And you may have to, I'm cooking right now. You may have to change your mind about someone or something that you like, which is not a big deal. It doesn't mean you have to hate the person. Listen, my view of Kendrick is so different now, and I have changed my mind about him a lot. I don't hate him or nothing like that, but now, like I've been saying, y'all have brought attention to his flaws. The same way that the simps, the kind of men who are pandering to black women, telling them what they want to hear, to the point where it's become normal for black women to be out of shape. They saying that black women are obese at an 80% clip. Like if you're an older guy trying to do, you in your 30s trying to date and whatnot, it's almost a guarantee. If you date women that are around your age range and whatnot, like a majority of them are not going to be in good shape. And I don't even mean the shape as in like tight. I'm talking about like just not, just being able to put on like a nice dress. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and play this drawing.
What it feels like.
It does. And I think also the silence of people who may actually still rock with Drake and no one coming up and holding him down. Yep. You know what I'm saying? The whole West Coast was holding Kendrick down. And
pretty much the entire music industry, including the people that he helped make money for, None of them put out not one tweet and supported Drake during the beef. Not one tweet. And the fans and people who will talk about this shit, you know how the people who are on K-Dot's side, you know how they would talk about it? People made the excuse of, oh, basically he deserves all of this. He deserves it. He did this. He deserves it. People, you got to realize, yo, it's a loser's mentality to feel as though winners deserve to have misfortune happen to them. This wasn't a retaliation. Another thing people like to do is pretend that they're witnessing a retaliation. They're witnessing, something be corrected, or something that needs correction. Kendrick is not viable in the industry because Kendrick is not even an active rapper. Kendrick doesn't even consistently put out music.
Every fucking major media outlet for the most part was holding him down. And I just don't see that same type of like resistance on Drake's side. So it's not only the people that's coming at him, but it's the people not saying anything as well that made it feel like, God damn. So nobody's even trying to come to his defense, all these people he put on and this and that.
Yep.
So to your point, I don't know what he did or if he did anything. I'm still waiting to hear a valid reason why motherfuckers hate Drake as far as like his peers are concerned. But I'm curious to see as time goes on, like what the fuck, what was everyone's sort of issue with this dude?
Getting back to it, man, Drizzy, you're amazing. You the inspiration. You set the bar for the next generation. I like that line. He said, you Neo in the Matrix. These niggas just Nemo in the ocean, small fish, making kids feel emotion. I love that line. The reason why I love that line, man, is because even in my personal life, when we talk about this whole Drake and Kendrick beef, it seems like, I'm not saying that this is the truth, but in my personal life, it seems like everyone at a certain age category was like, I don't know what motherfuckers talking about. I felt like Drake out-rapped Kendrick. And then people that are under a certain age category seems like they're like, nah, it's Team Kendrick, certified little boy, certified pedophile, and that's all I gotta say. And they're very,
that's all I got.
Yeah, they're very
word, and they don't realize that. Like for one, it's a few reasons why something's wrong with that. For one, you're communicating like it's how women communicate. Whenever, because women do a lot of it's like it's just gaslighting in conversation. They're not actually having a conversation with you. You know what I mean? And they're not. You got to realize women are not straightforward. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to just come out and say what's going on, or especially if it's something where you can critique them or you can question them about something. That's just how they come at it. All right, and I think that for one, in Black culture, there's still a lot of men who think like women, or who do not use reason and logic. Also, the whole behavior of, first of all, it's immature. It's very immature to not have compassion, to not consider all things and make it a point that to participate in willful ignorance and not admit to your biases. If you have a bias, you have a bias. If we all going out to eat and whatnot, we say, hey, where should we go out to eat at? I may love barbecue. You know what I'm saying? And y'all may start suggesting, hey, what about Burger King? No, Burger King sucks. About Chinese food. What Chinese food? You want to eat a rabbit? You know what I mean? How about halal? Halal? What is you, a Muslim? You may be listening to me like, damn, is something wrong with these kinds of food? And every time you make a suggestion, I follow up with I insult the place. Oh my God, I'm saying they food so processed, it's nasty. They use old grease and all. I'm going through all these different things rather than saying I really want to go to the barbecue spot because I really enjoy good barbecue. That's what men experience with women when we have these arguments. Is that rather than coming straight out and saying something, they want to gaslight you into thinking that it's something else. And it's weird. You know what I mean? And the same thing kind of went on in these conversations about the Drake and Kendrick battle, where like you're not really enjoying the battle. Because I had to realize that people thought it was okay to not even listen to Drake's records. You didn't listen to the records. People, like one of my best friends, he thought that it was a computer rapping like Tupac and Snoop. It didn't occur to him. The whole point is nigga, is you going to respond? Pac and Snoop is saying it. He put a filter on his voice and dished you in these filters. And then rap. What, nigga, that's mad lyrical. So rap from Tupac's perspective is hella lyrical, bro. So rap from Snoop's perspective, how do y'all say that's not lyrical? And it is called tailor-made. So y'all niggas love some hidden messages and hidden themes and all this bullshit, right? When you know it, when you think you eating, right? But when it comes to the real shit, you all turn a blind eye or a deaf ear. Drake been you didn't have a question why he keeps talking about Taylor Swift. So from what I understand, Taylor Swift, I had one of the articles. Where is it, yo? Because I had an article on this shit that was explaining like her role, but in so many words, her power in the industry, she's up there with Lucien Grange. Lucien Grange is one of the people who was basically he runs UMG. If I understand, because I don't want to speak on it, right? And I'm misquoting, and I'm not I'm not quoting correctly. So, but anyway, and he keeps in push-ups, he keeps name dropping Taylor Swift and referring to Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? And it's because they all have a hand in the production and basically in Kendrick's music career. In so many words, you know what I mean, and they're a part of greenlighting everything that he's doing. You know what I mean? And what people don't like to acknowledge is that Kendrick is not a boss, bro. He's not a boss over there. Okay. And speaking to these guys' points, right, about it seeming as though it's the whole world against Drake, and you know what I'm saying, all this type of stuff, and also making a point about. I think how most logical people felt when you heard Family Matters, that's 7 minutes of Drake snapping and going crazy. And it made me feel like I was crazy. When people try to tell me that Not Like Us is better, and I'm like, yo, the only way that you would arrive at that is if you're not listening, and human beings are perfectly capable of coming up with a whole thought pattern, an ideal, an idea, and an opinion based off of, I don't want to say bias, but the example I'm thinking about is politics, right? And I think we're all guilty of it. How many of us are doing even a half-hour research on any of these people and actually looking for unbiased articles and think pieces on that individual, i.e. Donald Trump? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Trump ain't never said anything that was stupid. I'm not saying he's never said anything that was ignorant, right? But painting this guy as a white supremacist and likening him to Adolf Hitler and all this type of shit. And I think that in a lot of different ways, it was really important that we had a candidate, a Democratic candidate that was as terrible as Kamala, to make it clear, because they still ran the same kind of campaign. And when you saw the difference between the two, now I mean that really helped us to see, you know what, yo. All right, man, this guy, this because a lot of people who wasn't with him before, a lot of them felt like, yo, man, this guy ain't too bad. But bigger than that, I'll leave that there. So I had one more video before I get to actually, you know what? We're gonna leave that because I'm like, damn, we an hour in, man. It's 10:09. This boy probably going to school tomorrow. You know, he's a little sick. But I wanted to show. I wanted to get into a conversation. So I actually have not seen this whole video. One second, yo. It's with MTR, and so it involves MTR, which is mediocre tutorials and reviews. He does videos in the manosphere space. It's been a staple in the manosphere space, or maybe red pill space, for about a good 6-7 years or so, right? And he's speaking on a statement that Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit made about Kevin Samuels and what was his contribution to what we call the manosphere. The manosphere being a space on YouTube and social media where men discuss the issues and concerns that they have. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I really want to play because I kind of want to get to the point, like straight to the point. So hold up, y'all. NTR, because I saw that O'Shea. And you know what? We'll just go with the original video because I don't know how long it takes me to get to it. Because this is a live reaction. I haven't seen this yet.
The podcast is receiving backlash for his recent comments in regards to the late Kevin Samuels. I want to give you guys my perspective. Kevin is not here right now to speak out for or defend himself. So I'm going to give my perspective of the reality of the conversation, because history will not be revised on my watch. The truth will be accurate. So let's talk about it. Without further ado, for quick context, this is a live stream conversation on the Fresh and Fit platform. There was a bunch of content creators up there. They were talking about the fall of the manosphere and solutions for it, but there was also a specific topic about the Black manosphere. Myron postures something in regards to Kevin. Let's watch.
One thing, right? And I really dislike to even say this, but the truth is the truth, and I kind of had to say it. The reason why the Black manosphere died, right, is simply because Kevin Samuels didn't put his people on.
The reason that an entire community of content creators or things that they talk about died is because the man that was seen as the head of it didn't put his people on. Let's listen a little bit more.
I'm going to be honest about it. He became famous. He blew up. He didn't, extend the ladder back and put his guys on, and it died. That's just what happened.
Sure.
Once he got into, into the mainstream, he didn't bring anybody up with him. And that's the cold hard truth. I hate to say that shit, but it's wild. The truth. And, for us, we adopted a little